Breaking news. Nigeria is also being affected by this issue around the world, which is like the global market at once. And again, the global market is being reshaped by the current ripple effect of the ongoing Iran-related conflict between the United States, Israel, and Iran. So this conflict is actually reshaping what the global market looks like, with unexpected winners and losers, emerging across industries, emerging across factories, from Europe's industrial base to the extreme height of Mount Everest. I'm going to tell you something here. In Europe, the chemical industry is experiencing a surprising, short-term relief. According to the market, at least the market reports, these European chemical manufacturers are benefiting, they are benefiting as the war in Iran disrupts. As the war in Iran disrupts Asian competitors, it disrupts the Asian industries. It disrupts the Asians who rely heavily in Middle East supply chains. So right now, they are benefiting. So this a sector which has struggled for years with long energy costs, weak demand, and stiff global competition, guys, is now seeing a temporary boost in pricing, pricing power and orders. That is something looking very beautiful, because companies across Europe, including major producers in Germany, in Switzerland, are reportedly gaining new customers as buyers. They are reportedly gaining new customers as buyers shift away from Asia, shift away from Asian industries due to this no supply instability, due to supply uncertainty, supply instability, high transport risk. So there is this issue between Iran, United States is really making Asian industries lag behind. Yes, analyst says the reason is very simple here. Disruption in the Middle East, guys. I'm telling you now that disruption in the Middle East energy, chemical food stocks has hit Asian producer harder. Why European farms with more localized production networks are seen as more stable and reliable in this short term, because they have something localized. They have something called localized production. They have something in the country that is helping them, localized network. So, however, industry leaders are warning against, this optimism. They are warning against optimism. They stress that this is not a structural recovery, but a temporary crisis-driven advantage. So they are just passing this as a kind of message to Europeans that this is not a kind of a way for you to recover. This is just a temporary crisis-driven advantage. You people can just benefit for the while that this conflict is going to last. That means after the conflict, the gain could actually disappear once the global supply chain stabilizes again. That means the Europeans will just gain it while it lasts. Seriously. So at this point, this is where the broader economic tension becomes very clear. Where what happens when region often comes from disruption elsewhere. Rising geopolitical risk, is reshaping trade flows, not necessarily improving global stability. But while Europe's chemical sectors, sees a short-term boost, the same conflict is causing economic and travel disruption far beyond industrial markets, and even reaching one of the world's most remote tourist destinations, Mount Everest. Gone. In Nepal, something happened. There's this tragedy that struck on world's highest mountain when a Nepal Sherpa guide fell into the crevasse and died in Mount Everest. Officials confirmed that this marks the third unalive on Everest in just 2 weeks. It's not a very good one. So Sherpas are the backbone of Everest expedition. Guys, guiding climbers through extreme conditions, carrying equipment, and also leading routes across dangerous ice falls and high altitude terrain. So these people are there to assist people who have come for tourism, people who want to explore this mountain. They are there to help. The loss of a shepherd is not only a human tragedy, but also a major blow to expedition. It's a major blow to expedition time relying on their experience. Honestly, it's a blow. It's a serious slap. Authorities say that despite global instability linked to the Middle East conflict, climbers are still arriving on Everest in large number. Underrated by travel disruptions and rising global uncertainty, the details is important because it highlights the striking contrast in today's world. Why the geopolitical tensions are affecting the oil market. Trade routes is affecting it. The industrial supply chains are being affected. Adventure tourism are being affected. And the risk expeditions continue. Almost unaffected in some of these most extreme environments on Earth. However, the rising number of unaliving on Everest in a short period is raising renewed safety concern because spring climbing season is known for dangerous weather windows, overcrowding risk, guys, and even unpredictable ice conditions. So this is risky. Experts warn that even small miscalculation at extreme altitude can be very fatal. It can be very fatal, and the person might not even survive that kind of miscalculation. So back in global market, the bigger picture is one of increasing interconnections, interconnectedness. Looking at the Iran conflict is no longer just a regional issue. It's not just an issue of politics, not just that. It is influencing the energy prices, it's influencing the chemical production, is also causing inflation expectations and even corporate strategies, across continents. It's causing a lot of disagreements, problems, and at the same time, it's causing all these issues. So industries far from battlefields, are feeling indirect effect through supply of energy, supply chain shifts, and cost pressures. People that are not in the battlefield, that are not in Iran issues or in these United States issues with Iran, are facing it. They are experiencing it through the cost and high cost of things. So, and even the Himalayas, even the Himalayas, where politics feels far away, global instability is indirectly shaping travel flows. Honestly, insurance costs and expedition logistics. But guys, what do you think about all this that is happening? Whether it is factories in Europe, refineries in Asia, or even climbers on Everest, the common factor is a world increasing influenced by disruptions that travel quickly across borders, often faster than governments and markets can fully respond. All this issue is not only affecting people on one side, affecting countries around the globe. So this is what is happening on letters. In fact, it's a latest information. This is what is happening on table. It's not a joke. So as both both economic systems and human activities adjust to this unstable environment, adjust to these unstable matters, one message becomes very clear. Of course, in today's global landscape, no sector, industrial or adventures is truly isolated from this ripple effect of conflict far away. So I'll keep you guys updated on more information. Kindly stay tuned.